Kicking things off is Danny Limelight Rivera in singles competition.
He squares off against a familiar face we never thought we'd see again in championship wrestling. Let's head to the ring.
Who?
Danny Limelight Rivera, he was in a war with Slice Boogie, a war that didn't see them settle the score, but another shot at victory here for Limelight.
Absolutely, makes me wonder if Danny's gonna come out really looking for the finish after missing that one just by seconds too.
And introducing his opponent from the Electric City, weighing in at 210 pounds, BHK, Kevin Martenson.
BHK is back. One of the most impressive competitors in the history of this program and of the United Wrestling Network. He's going to go it alone. Longtime tag team competitor, won numerous tag team titles, but a former television champion as well, and one of the most overall powerful and effective athletes we've ever seen. What a matchup this looks to be against Danny Limelight. Cannot wait for this. Talk strategy in this one, Blake. Two incredible competitors going to go toe-to-toe.
Well, I think a big thing to look at is momentum. We're seeing Kevin Martenson coming off a loss, and we're seeing Danny Limelight come off a draw, which he was very, very close to winning, seconds away from. So I expect to see a hungry Danny coming out here, really trying to look for the finish on Martenson. Martenson's a big boy, though. He's going to have to be smart about how he tries to put him away.
You're not kidding. He's so deceptively strong, but that's something that he dealt with Slice Boogie as well. Slice Boogie was full speed ahead, very physical, and as you mentioned, Limelight was mere seconds away. He hit that symbiote DDT, but the match had taken a toll, and Limelight just couldn't crawl over into the cover quick enough. But a great matchup. This type of great competition you're going to see on Championship Wrestling week in, week out. And again, you know, throughout that lengthy break, Danny Limelight stayed active with New Japan Pro Wrestling. So, you know, maybe going to be warmed up a little bit more than perhaps a Martenson. Look out here. Nice takedown. Martenson getting turned inside out in the early going.
Yeah, Danny Limelight is looking sharp. He has not missed a step during this COVID pandemic.
Got to think, though, that he was frustrated not getting that victory. Big spinning backbreaker by BHK.
That was smart. He needs to slow Danny down a little bit. The way Danny is moving out there, he's moving too quickly for Martenson. Martenson has got to slow Danny down.
Went for the rat trap, perhaps, and looking to go for the win in the early going there. That variation of the sharpshooter. Out to the outside now, and we've seen him dive. Look out here. Big time dive to the outside by Danny Limelight, and Martenson is in big time trouble early.
Man, guys have got to be careful when they get outside the ring. They're not going to buy themselves a second to recover with Danny Limelight. He is going to come flipping and flying at you.
No question about it. You know, in sports, usually, you know, you get to those sidelines, you can take a breather from the action. Not when you're in there with Limelight. Springboard, crossbody, beautifully done. Dead center of the ring, dead to rights, no, only two, says referee Allison Lee.
See, this aggression that we're seeing out of Danny, this is when I expect to see him after seeing him get that draw where 5 seconds could have made the difference. So he's not going to be in there wasting time or anything. He's putting it on Martenson and trying to get the finish. He was very close to that spring body.
Yeah, into that body press, and I'll tell you, BHK now hits with the side Russian leg sweep. Beautifully done, and gonna tie up his opponent. Oh, look at this.
It's almost like an omoplata variation shoulder lock, where he has his head trapped, so Limelight's stuck in this position. Let's see if we can get that other arm behind him. This is weird, I've never seen anything like this.
Almost a crucifix there. Martenson can attack you from all angles. He can high fly as well, and he's very versed in submissions. We talked about that rat trap. Jackknife cover the other way now by Limelight, but into the body lock. Holding on to his opponent there was Martenson, and scores with a big clothesline.
That was a beautiful transition by both guys. Both guys counter, recounter to the counter.
Into the cover.
Beautiful transitions in wrestling. This is very high-level wrestling here.
And it was Martenson that got the best of the scramble, scored with that big clothesline. You see the effects there. Holding on And this is something that Limelight dealt with. You know, I don't know. He had such a war with Slice Boogie. Limelight may not be 100%.
You know, I think people underestimate the mileage that gets put on their body after a sports competition like professional wrestling. And that match between Danny Limelight and Slice Boogie was rough.
Especially when you consider it went the distance, time limit draw. And perching now is BHK, Kevin Martenson. Again, such a championship history on this program, all the way back to the early days in the Galaxy Theater, down the freeway. Of course, a member of the Rocknest Monsters, but going alone here, back and forth, seesaw. Who wants it more?
These are the exact times where I say that Danny Limelight cannot just go head-to-head with these big boys. He's a tough dude, and once he gets hit, he wants to be in the middle of the battle. But it's not the smartest strategy, as you saw there with Martenson a second ago.
Danny Limelight, he's got that fighting spirit, though. He's shown it in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and here that snap German suplex. And the eyes looking very strange there, Blake. Lights dimmed, courtesy of BHK, and he looking to follow up. Inside cradle now, nicely countered. Can he put him away? Shoulders down, referee checking, close call.
That was great officiating right there. She checked those shoulders to make sure they were down before she started doing the pinfall.
Yep, nicely done. Great officiating there by Allison Lee and BHK. He's so unorthodox with some of his offense, but he is one of the hardest hitters on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, looking for the pop-up powerbomb, countered nicely into a roll-up deep hook of the leg. Oh my goodness, a fraction of a second away.
That was a beautiful, tricky veteran move there by Danny Limelight. We thought he was about to go back first into that mat with that powerbomb, and he switched it up to the Hurricane Rana and got a 2 count.
Measured here. Here you see that fancy footwork. Oh, he was thinking symbiote DDT, but too much power there by BHK. Looking for the big bicycle kick. Nobody home with the roundhouse. Who's gonna connect? Roll up now by BHK. Transition. Rat trap perhaps. Yes. Can he get him turned here, Blake?
He's been taking damage on his back throughout this. Oh, he gets the tap.
Here is your winner, Kevin Martenson.
There was no way he was coming back from that. He had to tap. All the mileage from Slice Boogie and the damage he took on his back in this match, I'm not surprised at all that Danny Limelight tapped out there.
Limelight was clutching that back throughout the match. He was attacked, and sometimes discretion, the better part of valor. But BHK, huge victory here, and more to come on Championship Wrestling.